Hello guys and welcome to my channel. In the previous video, I introduced 8 technical management processes. Today, I want to talk about the first one, which is project planning process. Let's get started and as always, have a good one. Guys, by the end of this video, you will be able to answer these questions. So pause this video right now and find out if you are able to answer these questions or not. As stated in ISO IEC IEEE 15288, the purpose of the project planning process is to produce and coordinate effective and workable plans. Project planning starts with the identification of a new potential project and continues after the authorization and activation of the project until its termination. The project planning process is performed in the context of the organization and in compliance with the lifecycle model management process that identifies and establishes relevant policies and procedures applicable to all projects owned by the organizations. The project planning process identifies the project objectives, technical activities, interdependencies, resource requirements, risk and opportunities, and management approach for the technical effort. The planning includes the estimates of needed resources and budgets and the determination of the need for project enablers, including specialized equipment, facilities, and specialists during the project to improve efficiency and effectiveness and decrease cost overruns. This requires coordination across the set of processes to develop a set of consistent planning for all activities. For example, different disciplines work together in the performance of the system requirements definition, system architecture definition, and design definition processes to evaluate the parameters such as producibility, testability, operability, maintainability, and sustainability against product performance. Project tasking may be concurrent to achieve the best results. Project planning establishes the direction necessary to enable execution of the project and the assessment and control of the project progress. It identifies the details of the work and the right set of personnel, skills, infrastructure, and facilities with a schedule for needed resources from within and outside the organizations. Inputs and outputs for the project planning process are listed in this slide. The project planning process includes the following activities. Define the project. Analyze the project supply response and related agreements to define the project objectives, assumptions, constraints, and scope. Identify or establish tailoring of organization procedures and practices to carry out planned efforts. Develop or select breakdown structures based on the evolving system architecture and the constraints on the resources. Define and maintain a lifecycle model that could be tailored from the defined lifecycle models of the organization. This includes the identification of major milestones, decision gates, and project reviews. Plan project and technical management. Establish the roles and responsibilities for project authority. Define top-level work packages for each activity identified. Each work package should be tied to required resources, including procurement strategies. Develop a project schedule, for example, an integrated project schedule, a systems engineering master schedule, or SEMS based on objectives and work estimates. Determine the infrastructure and services needed for the project. Estimate the costs and establish a project budget. Plan the acquisition of materials, goods, and enabling systems. Generate and communicate a systems engineering management plan, also called a systems engineering plan or SEP, for project and technical management or execution, including the technical reviews and audits. Contribute to quality management, configuration management, risk management, information management, and measurement plans to meet the needs of the project with regard to systems engineering efforts, maybe the SCMP for smaller projects. Establish the achievement criteria to be used for major milestones, decision gates, and internal reviews. Establish criteria for project performance. Activate the project. Obtain project authorization and resources. The portfolio management process provides this authorization. Obtain authorization for the necessary project resources. Commence execution of the project plans. The SCMP or equivalent technical planning is an important outcome that identifies activities, key events, work packages, and resources. It references other planning artifacts that are tailored for use on project. The standard ISO IEC IEEE 24748-4 on systems engineering planning is a reference to aid in writing a SEMP. Plans for developing software are often captured in a software development plan. The creation of the work breakdown structure, or its short form, which is WBS, and other breakdown structures, for example, function tree, functional breakdown structures, or FBS, product tree, or product breakdown structures, or PBS, organizational breakdown structures, or OBS, cost breakdown structure, or CBS, is an activity where systems engineering and project management intersect. Taking shortcuts in the planning process reduces the effectiveness of other technical management process. Well, this is a very important note. Agile project management methods also include planning. The cycles may be shorter and more frequent, but planning is an essential process. Agile planning process is not related to the entire project but addressing only the next already known iterations while applying learning from the previous iterations. Defining project objectives, value, and the criteria for success are critical to guide project decision making. The project value should be expressed in technical performance measures or TPMS. Incorporate risk assessment early in the planning process to identify areas that need special attention or contingencies. Always attend to the technical risks. If a project management plan or PMP already exists or is in preparation in accordance with practices as defined by the Project Management Body of Knowledge or PMBOK, from the Project Management Institute, which is PMI, for example, then it is important to coordinate in order to have a global consistency between these artifacts. The SEMP should reference or provide a link to the PMP for direction on how the SEMP will be updated and controlled on the projects. Project planning concepts. Project planning estimates the project budget and schedule against which project progress will be assessed and controlled. Systems engineering practitioners and project management practitioners must collaborate in project planning. Systems engineering practitioners perform technical management activities consistent with project objectives. Technical management activities, on the other hand, include planning, scheduling, reviewing, and auditing the systems engineering process as defined in the SEMP. Systems Engineering Management Plan, or SEMP. The SEMP is the key technical management plan that integrates the systems engineering effort. It defines how the total set of engineering processes will be organized, structured, and conducted, and how it will be controlled to provide a product that satisfies stakeholder requirements. The SCMP typically includes the following content: organization of how systems engineering interfaces with the other parts of the organization, responsibilities and authority of the key engineering roles, clear system boundaries and scope of the system, key technical objectives, assumptions, and constraints or linked to them, infrastructure support and resource management, that is, facilities, tools, IT, personnel, technical schedule, including key milestones, decision gates, and associated criteria. Definition of the systems engineering processes, including interaction with other engineering and project processes. Approach and methods for planning and executing the technical processes. Approach and methods for planning and executing the technical management processes. Approach and methods for planning and executing applicable quality characteristics or QC approaches. Major technical deliverables of the project. A SCMP should be prepared early in the project, submitted to the customer or to management for in house projects, and used in technical management for the concept and development stages of the project. The format of the SCMP can be tailored to fit project, customer, or company standards. In addition to being a standalone artifact, the SCMP can be a part of an integrated project plan, be a distributed set of plans, or be in a format other than a document. For example, it may be composed of different models, management tools, or other artifacts. The SCMS is an essential part of the SCMP and a tool for project control because it identifies the critical path of technical activities in the project. The schedule of tasks and dependencies helps prioritize the effort and justify requests for personnel and resources needed throughout the development life cycles. Breakdown structures. The purpose of the breakdown structures is to hierarchically decompose constructs in manageable and understandable elements. In projects, breakdown structures provide a framework for ensuring that all requirements, functions, and products of the system design are identified and arranged in a logical relationship that can be traced to and satisfy the business and stakeholder needs. An identification of all activities and resources needed to the product, a cost relationship to the activities being performed, an organizational context for the project to perform the activities needed to the product. An identification by name within the organization of the responsible person for performing each activity. A basis for configuration control once a particular project breakdown structure is baselined and a basis for effective management of changes. A framework to help identify risks and subsequent risk management. A basis for financial control and interface responsibilities resulting from business agreements. The systems engineering practice is to derive system functions from requirements and then allocate these functions into products or services, usually through the development of a functional and physical architecture. Functions and products are organized in breakdown structures that have the organizational framework of a tree, such as function tree and product tree. The function tree, also called functional breakdown structure or FBS, is a breakdown of the functions of the required systems of interest into successively lower levels of its functional architecture. The function tree includes the technical characteristics of each function. The product tree, also called product breakdown structure or PBS, is a breakdown of the systems of interest into successively lower level details of its physical architecture. The work to be carried out to reach the project objectives can be organized in a breakdown structure as a hierarchical tree where the lower level activities provide more details. This is the work breakdown structure or WBS, which is based on the FBS in the initial stages of system maturity, for example, feasibility, conceptual design, and the PBS in the later stages. The WBS includes all activities needed to develop the product. Each branch of the WBS is used to define a work package or WP. Each WP describes the work to be performed, related input and output, who is doing the work, the related interfaces with other WPs, the related cost and deliverables, and the key dates and milestones. The WBS serves as a reference for the identification of cost elements arranged into a cost breakdown structure or CBS. Along with the overall management organization, the WBS is also used to determine who does what. This is represented in an organizational breakdown structure or OBS, which is hierarchical tree of the organizational elements. In this section, I want to review project planning process, well, the subject of this video, with three questions. There are multiple choices, so let's get started. Question 1. Project planning blank the identification of a new potential project. Well, the right answer is starts with. The second question. Project planning continues blank the authorization and activation of the project until its termination. The right answer is 1. After. Question number 3. Project planning 1. Establishes the direction necessary to enable execution of the project. 2. Establishes the assessment and control of the project progress. 3. Identifies the details of the work and the right set of personnel, skills, infrastructure, etc. And 4. All of the above. Well, the correct answer is 4. All of the above are correct. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you have learned some materials about project planning process.